Welcome, brothers. Today, we're going to delve into the single life of some women who still believe that raising their standards will make them more attractive to men. But before we continue, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, leave us a comment. Brothers, we're now on TikTok, so feel free to check it out. The link is in the description. Without further ado, let's get started.
I'm single, so I'm gonna complain about the dating apps. I'm single, so I'm gonna ask if there are any cute men before I agree to the plans. I'm single, so I throw away half my groceries every week. I'm single, so I have to look hot everywhere I go because my husband might be there. I'm single, so I have to post thirst traps so you guys still know that I'm single. I'm single, so your boyfriend's paying for my drinks because I don't have anyone to. I'm single, so I expect you to wing woman me. I'm single, so I'm gonna take a lap at the bar. I'm single, so my dating life is your entertainment. I'm single, so I'm gonna complain about men and say that they're the worst. I'm single, so I'm gonna go on first dates for food. I'm single, so I'm gonna rot away my entire Sunday because I don't have kids. I'm single, so I'm gonna complain about the single tax. I'm single, so stop bringing your husband out with us. I'm single, so I should be able to expense my Botox and filler because how else am I gonna find a man? I'm single, so I'm working on myself. Duh. I'm single, so I have to prioritize going on dates over hanging out with my friends. I'm single, so I shouldn't have to pay. I only have one income.
This woman has several videos on her TikTok profile stating that she is single. There was another one where she asked men for suggestions on places to go to see if a beta provider would approach her. She has tried numerous strategies but hasn't found a man. That's why she says everything people would recommend to a single person. What makes me laugh is that she says, "I'm single, so I must look attractive wherever I go because who knows, my husband might be there." It's like what I tell men. Nowadays, men don't court. It's the women who are actively hunting. That's why you see women going everywhere dressed provocatively, from the gym to hardware stores that have a high number of women buying materials, hoping to attract a provider man. Many of them are women over 30 because, brothers, the wall doesn't forgive.
Unpopular opinion, but men love women that are high maintenance. They love it. Hear me out before you chew me out. There is no bigger insult than being mistaken as low maintenance. Now, being high maintenance is not synonymous to being rude, okay? You still have to be nice and sweet to your partner. But men really love high maintenance women, okay? That's who they're competing for. They're competing for that girl. The girl who has her nails done, her lashes, her fit's on point. She eats well, she goes to the gym, the whole 9 yards. They love it. They eat that up. So remember this, ladies, a man that invests in you values you. It's a flex for a man to brag about how they satisfy their girl. They want to take care of you and your needs, even if that's viewed as high maintenance tendencies. Now, I'm not saying you should have a man chase you, be yourself, have high standards, and watch the right man gravitate towards you. Confident men love high maintenance women. When you look good, you add to their value, so don't forget that. The girls that get it. And the girls that don't, that's why I'm here for you, babe.
And that's why she's still single, because she doesn't have a man willing to endure her high maintenance. Brothers, if a woman has to spend thousands of dollars a month to look average, then she's not beautiful. If you take that woman to a swimming pool, let her take a dip, and you'll quickly realize that what you thought was a beauty score of 9 drops to a 4. A woman who tells a man that he has to pay for her upkeep to stay beautiful is only a woman causing losses in his life. They all demand high-value men, not because these men are more affectionate, have values, or take care of and protect them, but because they have deep pockets to pay for them. It's because they have the money to maintain their glamorous lives where they don't have to contribute anything. They only have to reward you with their presence. These women are a disappointment, brothers, because they will only be a constant drain on your life. They won't help you move forward or level up. They are not women who bet on a man's potential. They are women waiting in line, wanting a ready-made winner. Let me tell you, the moment things start going south, they are the first to jump off your ship and hop onto someone else's yacht. That's why you see them at 30 or older, single, looking for their beta provider to make their final big move in a divorce after a few years.
I just came across a video of a 23-year-old black woman on this app saying to her followers, "Women peak at 25 years old and then it's downhill after that." Girl, what? I am truly stunned at the level of internalized misogyny that a woman can have at 23 years old. Your life barely even starts at 25 years old. I will be 35 years old this year. I have never felt better. I have never looked better. And I have never been more happier at this age than I am today. So to the other young women out there Please, please, please do not stop your life before it even begins.
And she has never been closer to hitting the wall than now. We all know that the young woman at 23 was right. At that age, she should be trying to find a good man to build a team with. Now that she has youth, fertility, and beauty, she's at her peak social value, able to aim for a winning man. But, of course, it offends the other woman when she says that because she didn't do that in her time, she hit the wall. We all know the wall doesn't forgive. You can be as beautiful as ever, as comfortable as ever, feel like you have the best economic life. But if you don't have a husband, let alone children, it tells us that you haven't reached the pinnacle of a woman. And don't get me wrong, the other path isn't bad, but it's not better either. As we see in various videos, loneliness sets in when you know the biological clock has ticked away, when you know it's past 30, halfway through life. When you know that if you don't find a man soon to start a family, you'll be alone in your later years. That's why it becomes a tough wall to move. The young woman knew this because she surely sees older women going through it. She doesn't want to push against that immovable wall.
High value man wants a high maintenance woman because high maintenance women create winners. A high value man knows with a high maintenance woman by his side, he is going to go further and achieve a lot more in life. Let me explain this to you. So when you are high maintenance, he constantly has to work to impress you. He has to constantly work to wow you. When you are low maintenance, you are easily impressed. He could give you an average gift or take you on an average date and you will be like, wow, that's so amazing. There's nothing left to improve on. So he gets comfortable and just settles. Men have a growth mindset, so you need to have a growth mindset too. You're going to start adding healthy pressure on him so he can achieve his goals. Be the woman that pushes him to take the risk, to start that new business. Support him emotionally on the bad days and celebrate with him on the good days. Dress like a wife, clean and classy. Always smell amazing. Your skin is moisturized and soft. Your hair is clean and tidy. Your positive outlook on life is what's going to drive him to believe that he can achieve more with you by his side. A high value man knows financially he will have to invest a lot more into you than a low maintenance girl. But in the long run, being with the high caliber standard of woman is what's going to get him further and achieve more in life. So of course, being with the high maintenance woman has a higher return on investment in the long run.
And this same mindset is what has led many men to ruin in a divorce because they married a high-maintenance woman who only waited for the right moment to ask for a divorce. We see this with wealthy men who marry these models or actresses with a lot of makeup, always having to be impressed. You see that poor woman marrying this rich man, and in the divorce, voila, a new wealthy woman is born, creating a poor and indebted man. Coincidence, brothers? Of course not. They were blinded by beauty before their eyes, didn't pay attention to the woman who performed acts of service for them, the feminine woman, the woman who covered her expenses by working, the collaborative woman, the woman who decided to take a step back in her career, staying at home with the children, taking care of their descendants. They didn't choose that woman. They opted for the inflatable doll that had to be constantly inflated to keep it from slipping into someone else's hands. Brother, be aware that these high-maintenance women don't fall in love with the man. They fall in love with the lifestyle. If you get involved with them, don't expect them to be there in tough times because their purpose is to enjoy. The moment things start going wrong for you or problems arise, they will deliver the final blow with a divorce. Because we can't both suffer, you have to be the one to suffer, so I can have a share of your income for my next high-value man. Watch out for this, brothers.
Moment of reflection recently where I was thinking back to my mid to early 20s. I was single. I was beating myself up over the fact that I didn't have a relationship, and it seemed like everyone around me was getting into relationships, was getting married. It seemed like they effortlessly hopped from one relationship into the next, and I was left wondering, like, what's wrong with me? How come it's so easy for them to find another person, but it's so hard for me to find a relationship? What is wrong with me? Why am I not worthy of having another person in my life? But then I got to thinking, a 29-year-old that I am right now, I'm so fucking blessed that I have not yet found my person, and that person didn't come in my early 20s. Because I know that the level of maturity that I had in my mid to early 20s versus the level of maturity and self-awareness, understanding about how people operate, how they work, is so much more powerful than what I had in my early 20s. I am now the best person that I've ever been in my life. I know what I want. If I were to have been given my soulmate even maybe a year or two ago, I think I would fumble them so fucking hard. I truly think that while you're in your early mid and even gearing towards the end of your 20s, you're still figuring yourself out. You're still figuring out what you want out of life. You're figuring yourself out as a person. So for me to have not found my person, I just think that the wait is gonna make him be that much better. Because my soulmate is about to get the most healed version of myself, because I'm no longer looking for someone to complete me. I'm fully complete within myself. I'm looking for an equal counterpart. And reflecting back to the same people that I was jealous of and that I was envious of, that were in relationships, that were getting married, that were having kids, are now divorcing, breaking up, having to start all over again because they were looking for someone solely based on the fact that they were afraid of being alone. So if you're single and you're in your late 20s and so on, keep that in mind, that not every single person in a relationship is happy and fulfilled. Just think how much better being single is than having to start all over later on in life.
Due to this mindset, you see them at 35 freezing eggs because they're still searching for the perfect man. Women should be more conscious of their actions in their 20s, for example, dating chads, men who bring nothing to the table except their seed. They're like the college type, who makes her experience everything, takes advantage of her, has fun during her prime, and prepares her to find the man they truly love. They all have the same discourse. I had to discover myself to know what I wanted. But you see them in their 20s exploring the mysteries that Chad brings. Then you see them at 29, on the brink of hitting the wall, claiming to be more prepared women who now know what they want and are ready for the beta provider. Of course, after Chad has had his way with her, with all the high mileage and worse, with traumas, just so she can't say she's not well prepared. Now, she's supposedly ready for a healthy relationship. It's like a meme I saw a while ago about single mothers that said, after your 5th child, now you like hardworking, faithful men. Brothers, focus on yourselves. Always remember that you should be the high maintenance one. Choose from a position of superiority with options, not out of necessity, so you don't end up with women who only want you for your wallet, not for who you are. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about high-maintenance women? What do you believe a woman should do at 23 to avoid hitting the wall? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.